Good morning, Horizon. It's Friday, and we're going to look at Psalm 118. It's a longer psalm and it has many beautiful themes in it. I'll only look at one of them today, but I do want to read the first portion of it to you. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Let Israel say, his love endures forever. Let the house of Aaron say, his love endures forever. Let those who fear the Lord say, his love endures forever. Do you remember way back when we used to meet, all of us together in one service? Sometimes, we would have responsive readings where I would say something, or the worship leader would say something, and you'd respond. Do you know that that's an ancient tradition? That's a way of teaching, a way of knowing, a way of responding, a way of worshiping that goes all the way back to the temple worship. Here's an example of that. This is people being directed and responding to the direction. It continues. Now, when hard pressed, I cried to the Lord. He brought me into a spacious place. The Lord is with me. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? The Lord is with me. He's my helper. I look in triumph over my enemies. It's better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in humans. It's better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes. I'll stop there. I had a conversation the other day with a friend, and they were talking to me about a fear that they had, which they recognized was an irrational fear. And we were processing this together, and I said, sometimes the best thing to do is to take out that feeling and acknowledge it. Not just try to repress it and not feel it, but just to take it out and say, I'm feeling this, so I'm feeling fear. And then I said, the question then is to ask of that fear, where does this fear come from? Why is it there? What does it show me? In this case, I was able to talk to this person. We were to work through it and say, it seemed like that irrational fear, at some level, just kind of revealed that ultimately there was a lack of trust that the Father really had them in their hands and was protecting them, that they could count on Him, that they could trust Him. And it was a comfort to them to kind of realize, to boil it down, and then they could start working through that a little bit. And here, it's a great reminder to us. What can we count on? Well, what can we know when times are tough? Here the psalmist says, when hard pressed, I cried to the Lord, and he brought me to a spacious place. Then he says, the Lord is with me, I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? He's my helper. Then it says, it's better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust people, humans, princes, powers, human structures. It feels to me like the psalmist worked his way through his anxiety to the deep, deep conviction. When I think about it, God has always been there, and I can trust Him, and He is actually more faithful than any human person that I know. I've committed my way to Him, and He has committed Himself covenantally to me. So what do I have to be afraid of? Sometimes that's the process we have to go through. We have to take out our fear. We have to look at it. We have to identify it. We have to ask what it shows us. We have to boil it down. And then we have to see if it leads us to a place where we can confess again that we can trust God with everything that we are. I think it should be one of our deepest commitments, deepest confessions. It is something that I would hope to say that I know, that I've learned, that I know in my bones. God always has me, and God always has you. Grace and peace to you.